Hello, this is Azrael, and in this video we're going to be doing a quick tutorial in how to make one of my favorite divination tools, the Scrying mirror. And all you are going to need is a picture frame and a can of black flat spray paint. That's right. So what you do is you take the picture frame you bought. I suggest using a picture frame uh, at least large enough to where it would be the size of your face. So if when you look into it, you'd be able to basically see your face. Um, you wash off both sides of the glass with rubbing alcohol to really clean it, let it dry, and just take one side and spray paint it black. Let it dry, spray paint it black again. Put on a few coats until it's perfectly dry and thick. Put the side that you spray painted on in the back and the shiny side up front. And there you have it. Now from here you will be able to do all kinds of different ways to personalize your mirror. A lot of people who practice ceremonial magic will write god names on the back, on the front. I put mine on the back, mostly because um, when I'm looking into the mirror, I don't want something written on the outside to distract me. However, in a lot of traditions, it's written on front. So because it registers with the subconscious mind to see the names of various archangels or god names or saints. Like if you're into hoodoo or voodoo, you might put in, or Santeria, you might use Saint Lucy because well, though she is the patron saint of the blind, she is also the patron saint of divination or second sight. If you are a Wiccan or a pagan of a different faith, you could put your god names, mostly probably pertaining to the moon gods, because the moon governs this kind of work as well. And after your personalization of it, you're going to want to cleanse it and bless it. You can pass it through sage, frankincense, myrrh, an incense using mugwort, or you could wash it off using mugwort infused tea. Mugwort is good to use for divination as well. You could set it outside at night to get a blessing from the full moon, for example. It depends on your magic tradition, and since I'm going to be going into magic traditions and magic rituals, we'll cover this at a later date if you do not have your own specific form of tradition. And when you first use this mirror, or every time when you use this mirror, you want to add protection. And when you gaze into the mirror, it's good to have the mirror to do this in a dark room with one candle lit not in front of the mirror, but somewhat off to the side or behind you. You'll want enough light in the room to see the mirror, but not enough light in the room to break your concentration. And as you look into this mirror, you want to relax your eyes, not like let them blur, just relax your eyes and gaze into the mirror as if you're looking down a hallway. And what's going to end up happening, now don't try to see any one specific thing. Just let this come naturally, and you'll start many people, like I for myself, usually see specks of light, green, blue, yellow, right before my astral eyes open. Some people will start seeing clouds inside the mirror, and then after the clouds disappear, you'll see the lights, and then you'll start seeing images. Now, when you're first doing this, you're probably not going to see anything. I would use this this technique at least once a day for several days before most people start seeing stuff, if you're new to this kind of thing. Also, you don't want to let your sessions go past, I'd say, about 10 to 15 minutes, especially when you're new. Do this 15 minutes a night and give it a break. Do it again the next day. And after you each session, you're going to want to do some kind of grounding ritual. Uh, with me, this is as simple as nothing magical, just as simple as making a sandwich and drinking a soda to bring my mind away from this kind of work. You could turn on the TV and start watching a comedy, uh, for example. This does not have to be a magic ritual to bring yourself to grounding. Matter of fact, the more mundane, real life ritual that you do, the better, in my opinion. And then once you start seeing images on a regular basis through the mirror, then you can start trying to focus on certain subjects, such as uh, what's so and so doing. It's important to try to have somebody to help you with this to see if you get it right. For example, um, looking into the future, looking into the past. When you become very good at this, you could even start using this technique for magical invocation and evocation, as well as summoning the dead to speak with it. When you go into summoning spirits, uh, you first seem to get better results summoning spirits in the mirror. And once you get very adept at this, then you can start moving on to actually summoning the spirit into a physical form if you're going to go that route. This might be a little bit too scary or too in your face for many people, especially when you're talking about spirits. Seeing a vision is one thing. Seeing the spirit of a ghost, seeing a ghost or a demon or an angel is another. And in my future videos on magic and the occult, we're actually going to go into summoning and so forth and various techniques. A few pointer tips. Once you make your mirror and once you start using it on a regular basis, or actually straight out from the start, don't let anybody else use your mirror. Mostly because people have different energies and kind of in a form of contagious magic. If they're negative, they might put some negativity on that mirror. So don't let nobody else use it. If you like me and my wife, we both have our separate mirrors. Okay. Also, like I said, don't let them use it. Don't let nobody else touch it. And if they do, re-cleanse it. Do not watch a horror movie or something scary before you do this. Like attracts like. If you're upset or scared in the mind, you might summon something you don't want to see. Okay? So try to be at peace. Don't do this when you're scared, for example. Now, this can be done at any time. However, when you're starting out, it does seem to work better in a dark room. The more you become adept, the quicker you'll be able to look into the mirror and fall into that altered state of mind like that. And you could even have other people in the room at this time. I like to do this around Halloween. I will use a crystal ball also, just for theatrical effect. But I do prefer the black mirror better. With the crystal ball, I place it on a black cloth to get that little black color, because the black color is actually the absence of color. Black is the absence of color. This is the reason why it's easier to do divination in this, because other colors do not drown it out. It has nothing to do with the dark arts. The black mirror is black because that's the color that seems to work well. Mostly because it's not shining other colors in your face, basically. Most of what you're going to see when you first start out would be colored lights. The more you go into this, we'll learn that certain colored lights that appear in the mirror mean different things. For the most part, how you interpret these things you see will be largely based on your cultural and personal beliefs. For example, in most Western cultures, the owl is a symbol of wisdom. So when you see this, it's pretty much safe to say It's wisdom, something that has to do with knowledge. However, in another culture, if you belong to a culture that views owls as bad luck, then you should interpret it as your culture or as you see. Now, you could be in a culture uh, and still have a different belief than that culture that you belong to. But this is just a basic how-to. So it's very important when you see something. Not only do you take the symbolism that you see, but how you feel when you see it. So if you see an owl and you don't feel wisdom, you feel bad luck or something, even though your culture says that the owl is wisdom, you still might want to interpret that omen based on how you feel when you see it. Um, Most of these things that you see will also be symbolic. So, and the same interpretation would also be found in most dream dictionaries. So, I would suggest you to buy a good dream dictionary with a lot of symbolism in their explanation. And this completes this tutorial on how to make a mirror and basic interpretation. So, good luck. And at the time of making this video, we are only 1 month and a few days away from Halloween. And Halloween is one of my favorite nights to perform this form of divination, this called scrying. Okay, now you could also, if you don't want to do the mirror, just a quick little side note. Nostradamus uh, used this same technique to get his visions. However, he used a black bowl filled with water most of the time to basically create the same effect. Okay, little fun fact there. Well, anyways, you take care and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, as my videos will be getting more into magic and the occult, which should probably be help if more people like and subscribe to let me know what they want, because I will be covering everything from summoning spirits to casting spells on down to making thought forms, which are human-made entities. You name it, the occult's got it. So take care.